are the story times of weird shit that my father would do. I'm aware this is a serious topic, but I spent years healing from it, so I'm like, let's laugh a little. One time my mother forced me to text my dad talking about one of my cheer competitions. All you guys need to know is that I misspelled competition in this text message. This man came in my room at 11:30 at night, dragged me downstairs, made me sit down with a pen and paper and spell competition correctly. He was like, I can't believe you don't know how to fucking spell competition. You're a junior in high school. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna spell it correctly. And I was like, this is why I don't fucking text you, because you're literally insane. It's you're gonna be here all night if you don't get to spelling, and gave me a piece of paper and a pen and literally forced me to spell it. Here's the issue. I still didn't know how to fucking spell it. Obviously, if I'm misspelling it, I do not know how to spell the word. Did he just think it was gonna magically come to me? So I'm sitting there, I'm competition. I'm sounding it out competition. I still can't fucking spell competition to this day. He's making me write it, and I'm getting pissed. I'm you're so fucking dumb and weird. Who does this? I'm screaming for my mom. I'm Mom! He's your mother's not gonna come and help you with this. I'm I just want to go to bed. I have school at 7 in the morning. Fuck how to spell competition. I don't need that. At this point, 30 minutes has gone by and I'm still not spelling competition correctly. And I'm whatever, fuck this. I'm going to bed. And he's if you move, I'm taking away your phone. I just look at him and I go, wait, my mother pays for my phone. You can't do shit. I awoken the beast with that statement. At this point, my mother comes down the stairs and she's what the fuck is happening? What are you doing? And I'm this fucking psychopath is making me spell competition because I misspelled it in a text message and I still don't know how to fucking spell it, Mom. Mom's just go to bed. Leave him. Just go. My dad's if you move, it's gonna be a problem. I'm taking your phone. I'm the phone Mom pays for? I walked up my stairs and took my ass to bed, but I was I literally still don't know how to spell competition. And guess what? I'm successful regardless. That's why we have autocorrect. But why the fuck did I have to sit and spell on it? This man was just insane. This next story, my mom says, is the reason that they got divorced. It was a Thursday night and I was cooking my sister dinner and we're laughing. We're having a good time in the kitchen. So obviously I'm cooking dinner and I have the cabinets open because I'm grabbing spices. I'm doing my thing. My father walks in the kitchen and our laughs were ah ha 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 to when that man walked in, we were what the fuck does the beast want? Go to part 2. So my dad comes in the kitchen and we're both and he's close the cabinets. And I'm no, I'm literally in the middle of cooking. I'm not gonna close the cabinets because I'm just gonna have to open it in 2 fucking seconds. And he's close the cabinets. And I'm why? And he's cause I said so. Close the fucking cabinet. I'm you literally came in here to tell me to close the cabinets? Why do I need to close the cabinets? He's don't ask me fucking questions. At this point in my life, I did not like this man. I had no respect for him. So I look at him and I go, no. I'm cooking my sister and I dinner because my mother's working. I'm gonna leave the cabinets open because I'm cooking. And he's close the fucking cabinets. And didn't have a reason. It's why did the cabinets need to be closed? I'm in the midst, just the dumbest shit. I look again and I'm no. This man bolts towards me and I run the fuck upstairs. My mom comes home. I'm in tears. I'm why did this weird fuck want me to close the cabinets? It literally made no sense. I was just trying to cook us dinner because we didn't have dinner yet. My mom's don't worry about it. I don't know why he wanted you to close the cabinets. My dad wanted to take me out of all my competitive cheerleading and my school cheerleading because I wouldn't close the cabinets and didn't want me to have a social life. Literally because I wouldn't close the cabinets because I was cooking fucking dinner. That's what he wanted my punishment to be. But what you guys need to know was I wasn't in school for a year before that because of really bad anxiety. So I missed my entire year of school. And I was just getting back into the swing of things. And my mom was no, I cannot have her out of any social thing. She'll just go backwards. We can't do that. And my dad was then I want a divorce. And my mom was good, let's fucking get one. All because I did not want to close the cabinets because I was cooking fucking dinner. It was just the weirdest shit ever. It's why does it matter if the fucking cabinets are open? One time when I was 15 years old and I had no idea how to drive, my father woke me up and forced me to drive him to the train station. My mom and sister were out of town and I was the only one home. You guys, I literally didn't even have my permit at this point and the train station was 3 blocks away. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive. And he's I'll fucking teach you. Just get in the car and drive with me. And it's 7 in the morning. I'm bawling my eyes out behind the steering wheel. I'm I'm gonna crash. He's shut the fuck up. I'm I'm gonna die. To make matters worse, he's yelling at me why don't you know how to drive yet? I'm I'm 15. I have a late birthday. He gets off at the train station. He's see, it wasn't that bad. I'm wait, I don't know how to get home. I don't know how to drive home. I can't drive home alone. He's like, figure it out. I'm like, what the fuck? It took me 20 minutes to go 4 blocks. I had no idea how the fuck to drive. Like, I only had driven with my mom in like the cemetery. That's all I knew. I literally drove 5 miles per hour going home and was just bawling my eyes out the whole time. And that's the story time of just weird shit my father would do. Here's the story of my 6-year-long stalker that literally stalked me for 6 years of my life. I guess he probably would have stalked me way longer, but he's, so, you know, R.I.P. I guess. I really don't know. You traumatized me, so burn in hell. When I was 17, I got a message on Instagram, and it was from this guy who literally looked just like Tupac, like looked like an impersonator. And let's just call said Tupac impersonator Carl. Carl messaged me and was like, you are so beautiful, let me take you out to dinner. Of course, my 17-year-old self was like, period, Tupac. Yes, you can take me out to dinner. The only thing a guy my age had ever asked me to do was finger me in his mom's basement. So it was like, I'm being swept off my feet. Boy, was that a mistake. That was quite the mistake. I asked him how old he is, and he's like, I'm 19, and I'm like, perfect, I'm 17. He's probably so mature. Like, he's probably so mature. So a couple days later, he picks me up in a brand new Altima, and I'm just like, what 19-year-old has a brand spanking new Altima? I don't know one. At this point, I was like, is Tupac alive? Is Tupac alive? When I tell you I was expecting to go to like a McDonald's, no. We went to a steakhouse. At this point, I'm kind of like confused because he looks his age. He looks 19, but he's spending money like he's in his mid-20s. So during the date, he tells me that he only pays for dates if he ends up liking the girl a lot. So I take this as a challenge because I have $12 to my name at this point, and I'm like, he needs to like me because this place is expensive. Baby, I'm pulling out the bells and the whistles. Tell me about your trauma. Tell me about your ex-girlfriends. Tell me about your life. How's your mom? Everything I can think of. Hey babe, well, he liked me too much, all right? So he paid for the date, and then he proceeded to take me to Sonic, and we got the grossest milkshake I've ever tried in my entire life. While waiting for that disgusting milkshake in the drive-thru, he starts telling me about the last date he went on with the last girl he went on a date with, and let's call her Maria. Start to realize that I go to school with Maria. I know who Maria is. Not only do I know who Maria is, but she's like in my inner group of friends. So like I hang out with her pretty frequently. After this like 3-hour-long date, he finally takes me home, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to ask Maria about Carl when I go to school tomorrow. Like, I need to know why he didn't pay for their date. What happened? She's so cool. Like, what happened? Next day at school, I go up to her at lunch, and I'm like, yo, you went on a date with Carl? And she's like, Carl? And I was like, yeah, Tupac Carl. Like, what about it? She's like, please tell me you didn't go on a date with him. And I'm like, yeah, I did. He took me to the steakhouse. She's like, well, on the date, I found out that he was actually 24. At this point, I'm doing the math in my head. Like, how old would Tupac be right now? And obviously it's not 24, so we were good. Like, yeah, and I also found out that he has a girlfriend. After we were done with the date, the girlfriend reached out to me, and I was like, oh, awesome. So not only is he a creep, but he also has a girlfriend. Really not shit. Like, they are not. Honestly, I text him, and I'm like, you're literally a liar and a creep. Why would you lie about your age? And also you have a girlfriend. And then I just blocked him. You probably would think that would be the end of that, but it absolutely was not. After I block his number, he makes like 6 fake numbers being like, please let me explain, please let me explain. Like, I swear to God, I didn't lie to you, blah, blah, blah. I'm blocking like number after number after number, so he resorts to Instagram, obviously. I had this like obsession with Bart Simpson, which is a key player in this story, so remember that. Which like, what the fuck, why are you obsessed with Bart Simpson? That is literally so random and weird. When I get home from school that day, I get home and there's flowers on my aunt's porch for me, and I'm like, oh my God, this man knows where I live. So I unblock his number, and I'm like, do not ever come to my house again. Don't ever leave me flowers. Like, we are not friends. You're a creep. Immediately reblock his number because I'm just not interested in even hearing what he has to say. Like, you're fucking weird. Doesn't he show up at my aunt's house later that night and come knocking on the door? And just my luck, no one but me is home. I go up to the door and I'm popping the fuck off. I'm like, why the fuck are you here? What is wrong with you? You're so creepy. Like, this is so weird. And he's like, please, 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 like, let me just explain. Let me just explain. And he goes on to tell me that he has a developmental issue that makes him look so young. And he was just embarrassed to tell me his real age because he looks so young. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, none. Like, zero. It's like the girlfriend that I had isn't my girlfriend anymore. She just tells people that she's my girlfriend because she's crazy. And I'm not with her. I haven't been with her in years. And I'm just like, I think I've heard this all before. I'm just like, okay, that's cool and good, but I still don't want to talk to you. Like, my aunt and my mother would not be very cool with me dating someone almost 10 years older than me. I'm not cool with it. Like, I just don't, you lied about it. That's so weird. So he finally leaves after having his literal temper tantrum, and he stays blocked on everything. Like, I am not unblocking this man for the life of me. So things are quiet for about a week after that, and then I start getting messages and likes on my Instagram from this weird account that has 2 followers, and the picture is of Bart Simpson. I know who this is. I immediately know who it is and block him. And then he makes another one. And he does it again. This cycle literally continues for years. Like, I would block a Bart Simpson account and then another one would follow me. I would block it and another one would follow me and another one would message me. It's like, it was insane. Every year without fail, I would get the happy birthday message from a Bart Simpson account and then a happy Christmas message. It was just ridiculous. My 21st birthday was during COVID, so I couldn't go out and like drink on my 21st because it was like everything was shut down. So whenever COVID like reopened and everything was reopened, me and my friend decided to go to the bar. At this point, things had slowed down. I honestly had thought he was done. Like, I was like, he's not stalking me anymore. Well, to my dismay, I was wrong. Posting on our stories and having fun, and then don't you know, ends up showing up to the bar I'm at and just standing there and staring at me. We leave because I was terrified, and I go to my Instagram immediately because I know he probably messaged me. And he did, and he was like, I saw you and you looked beautiful. I literally flipped the fuck out. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. I said some choice words, a lot of stuff, and I think he finally got it. Finally, said ex-girlfriend reaches out to me, and she's like, he does this to everyone. I've heard this so many times. I'm like, great. Then a few months later, he died of a heart attack.
Behind every teenage girl with a job is a grown woman preying on her downfall. I recently started serving at a Mexican restaurant and I'm newer. However, I was asked to start bartending, so I've been training as a bartender. When I first started working here, people were telling me everybody's generally nice for the most part. There's just one server who she can be kind of a bitch sometimes. And I'm the person who gives people the benefit of the doubt, so I didn't have any first impression of her. I was completely nice to her, whatever. First couple of shifts with her, fine, nothing was wrong. When I was training, I was making a margarita for her and I put a lime on it and it fell and hit like the bar, and by instinct, I put it back on and she's like, I hope you know how disgusting that is. That's the dirtiest place in this whole restaurant. And like, I didn't mean to do it. It was just instinct to put it back on. I let it slide. I'm not too confrontational. I didn't say anything. Next training shift, the same thing happens. The line falls off. By instinct, I pop it back on and I get the same reaction. That's so disgusting. Da da da. When she said this to me, I'm not confrontational, but I simply said to her, you know, there's so many nicer ways to say that. And then she was like, well, it's disgusting. And I said, you could simply say, hey, can I get another lime? She gave me the nastiest look, and I was like, okay, whatever. One of the hosts, who's the sweetest girl ever, had found my TikTok and was talking to another server about it, how I had a couple thousand followers, this, that. And walking by was the server who had yelled at me. And mind you, this woman's in her mid-30s. I am 19. She goes up and she's like, what is it? I want to know her TikTok. I'm going to comment that she's ugly. I'm going to comment that she's a bitch, this, that. And the host and the other server were like, what the fuck? They literally went to the manager and was like, hey, like, she's being really rude to Lauren. And the manager's like, yeah, like, we just had an issue with her with somebody else. Like, we're gonna have to do something about this too. But like, Miss Girl, you are well into your 30s beefing with a 19-year-old over a lime who is training in that position. But whatever, I'll let you have your win.
Get ready for me when I tell you guys how I found out my ex was cheating on me through a reflection of a picture. And like, I am so serious. I found out he was cheating on me because I literally was able to see a reflection in a picture. It was going great. Like, everything was fine. Like, we would FaceTime every single morning, every single night. Like, when I would get ready for school, like, we'd be on the phone, always a good morning text. Like, we were like medium distance, so we saw each other every single weekend. And he would always update me. Like, he was busy, he would text me. Like, he'll let me know, like, oh, I'm gonna be busy today. So I never worried about anything until one weekend he told me he's gonna be like super busy the whole day. He's gonna be with his family, because his family from Michigan is coming like up to see him. So then I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. He's barely responding all day, but I was just like, he's like with his family, so it's okay. So he goes, like, his location's like at this like Italian restaurant, and then I see him post like a blurry picture of like him like at the restaurant. It's just his plate and then like his hand. But then tell me why in like the reflection of the spoon, like, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I don't know, I really feel like this was like God like really trying to show me something, because like, why can I see a reflection in a spoon? Anyways, in the reflection of the spoon, I see a wine glass and I see red acrylic nails holding the wine glass. So I go like through his following at this point, and I'm like trying to see if I can find like one, like a girl posting a restaurant, like, because usually when you're on a date night, you post that you're on a date night. And he only followed like 300 people, so I was like, this is gonna be easy. I literally found her. I found her. She posted him, like, she didn't post him, but like she posted like their plates, and I was like, yeah, like, this is her. So I text my best friend and I'm like telling her like literally what's going on, and she's like, let's pull up, like, we need to pull up. So I pull up to the restaurant, and there and behold, like, they're literally sitting right there. Like, so I call him to see if he'll take my call, and he he takes it, like, he's just like tells her like, hold on. I see him mouth, my sister's calling me, and then he like leaves the table and he's like, hey baby, blah blah blah, like starts talking to me on the phone. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So I go up to their table while he's talking to me on the phone, because where he was standing, he couldn't see me. I go up to their table while he's talking to me on the phone, and I like sit down, and then I'm like, okay, like, she's looking at me crazy. And then like I like hang up the phone, and then he comes back to the table and he sees me. Yeah. And I was just like, it's so cute that you like Italian, right? Isn't it cute that you like Italian? You're bringing her? Is this your first date? And then she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, he didn't tell you he has a girlfriend of 8 months? Like, how can you miss it? How can you miss it? And then, yeah, and then I just got up and I left, because fuck, I blocked him. And that's how I found out my man was cheating on me, through a reflection on a picture.
Story time when one of my least favorite bullying stories was actually caught on film and I had to relive it several years later when I rewatched it on film. So when I was in grade 6, we went to Phillip Island School Camp and there's a giant swing there. If you know what the giant swing is, you go up on a swing and all your classmates have to pull you up and then you pull a rope and then you let it go and swing. I remember going to this camp and we were all we were with a certain number of people pulling people up on the swing. And when it was my turn to go on the swing, this girl who would always kind of have a go at me for some reason, ever since I was in grade 2, and this guy who was sometimes a bit mean, they were a part of the people pulling the rope, and I was I kind of just had a bad feeling about it, okay? Anyway, so it was my turn to go up and everyone was pulling the rope or whatever. So I remember being on the rope and getting about halfway, and then I hear this girl who always had something to say about me start to oh my God, Annalise, you're so heavy, bro. Oh, you're so heavy. You need to lay off the cheeseburger. Stop getting McDonald's, and making all these comments. And then the guy kind of joined in as well, haha, yeah, Annalise, stop eating so much. And mind you, I was chubby, from the ages of 9, upwards, I was always more chubby. So obviously that shit is gonna fucking upset you. But I remember in the moment just pretending that I couldn't hear him, even though I could, and just laughing oh my God, I'm up so high. I remember doing that because I remember in my head thinking if I just pretend I can't hear them, then it's less embarrassing for me. And whatever, and I go over the swing and I swung and I got halfway up because I was the chicken shit. Whatever, I remember this happening. Fast forward, dude, I don't even know how many years, maybe 8 years. I remember I was 18, we were at my friend Layla's house with me, Leather, and Sienna, and she pulled up her laptop, which had all of her old videos that she filmed on her camera that she'd brought around primary school. And one of her videos was of us at camp. And when we started watching the video, I realized she was filming everyone pulling the rope and she was filming me on the giant swing. And I was thinking in my head, fuck no, what is happening? The video plays out and it happens exactly as it was printed in my brain, but now from the ground perspective, so I can hear this girl bullying me, but more loud and clear. Now it's not from below, it's from fucking right there. I can hear her saying, stop eating cheeseburgers, Annalise, you're so heavy. And I can hear that guy laughing, and I can kind of hear Layla just being Annalise, you're up so high, and kind of just talking over it. Bro, when I was rewatching this, me and Layla was kind of just awkward, but me and my best friend Sienna, we literally started crying. We were laughing, but we started crying we were oh my God, this is fucked because it's funny, but also I'm literally getting bullied on camera. My 11-year-old self is getting bullied on screen, and we started literally crying watching it. And I honestly have PTSD of this moment because it was one thing to live it, but a second thing to re-watch it happening to your little self, as well as your friends being around you, and we're all just what the fuck is this on camera? This is so sad. Anyways, I actually ended up seeing this girl again at a rave a year and a half ago. And when I saw her, I was my friend was oh, look, so-and-so's here. And I just saw her and I just froze, and I was oh my God, hey. And she didn't even say hi to me. She just said to me, I was oh. And I literally felt I was my 11-year-old self again, fucking scared for my life. Even though I could look at this girl and be I don't even know who, not in a room, but I don't even know what the fuck you're doing with yourself right now. But you, and I was just kind of staring at her, but I was so scared. And I felt my 11-year-old self again, looking at a bully. It was actually insane. Anyways, because I, in my YouTube video, I mentioned having dealt with mean girls and stuff growing up, I thought, let me just give a little bit of proof, I guess, that it happened to me. And yeah, sometimes I still think about that story and it makes me so upset, but it is what it is.
Story time of how I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me with his cousin. Yep, his cousin. I was dating my boyfriend, let's call him Zach, for over 4 years, and yeah, he did have a few red flags. One is that he was very family oriented. And don't get me wrong, I'm family oriented, but this man was a classic mama's boy, and his family were weird, okay? They had at least 2 to 3 family trips every single year, and I was never invited. Actually, spouses weren't even invited. Only their actual family members could go, including the cousins. No matter how long we dated and no matter how hard I tried, I was always an outsider in that family, and everybody let me know. But it wasn't just me. They treated every significant other like that, even his brother's wife. And yes, this situation did bother me, but realistically, his family lived in a different state than us, so most of the time I didn't really have to deal with it until he told me his cousin was moving nearby. I didn't really know much about this girl. I knew that she did go on a lot of the family vacations that I wasn't allowed on, but other than that, yeah, didn't know her. But because she didn't know anybody else in our city, he told me that she was going to be spending a lot of time with us. Great. I thought that was great. Okay. I actually was kind of excited to get close to somebody in his family since his other family members treat me like an outsider. I thought maybe this girl would be my in, but no. She wasn't. I knew the first time I met this girl that we were not going to be friends. We were probably not even going to be acquaintances because I have never met somebody that was more cold and rude to me. She would give me so many backhanded compliments wow, it's really brave of you to wear that. I could never imagine wearing that to a bar like this, but good for you. She was also super touchy with my boyfriend and calling him things like Zacky Poo, babe. Yeah, literally calling my boyfriend babe. I was bruh, that's your cousin. Why are you calling your cousin babe? That's not how we do things in my family, but I guess y'all do have a weird dynamic. And as the months go by, he begins spending more and more time with his cousin. And he starts inviting me less and less. And to be honest, I wasn't really bothered by this because I didn't want to hang out with them anyway. She was not a nice girl. But then I just started feeling really weird with the amount of time he was spending with her. There were so many times that I was asked Zach to do something with me and he'd be like, I can't. I already have plans with my cousin. And yeah, I got to the point that he wasn't even saying, and do you want to come? And anytime I would get upset about this and be like, okay, well, it's date night. We haven't had a date in a while. Can we hang out? He'd be like, what? Why are you being like this? This is my family. Are you trying to isolate me from my family? The gaslighting was crazy, right? He was making me feel like I was in the wrong for wanting to spend time with him. But it was going that we would have 3 or 4 weekends in a row that we wouldn't even see each other because he was spending all this time with his cousin. And again, he just kept saying, well, she doesn't know anybody else here. She's my family. I love her. This is what I need to do for my family. Yeah, she wasn't even trying to make other friends. She didn't want to. She just wanted to hang out with Zach. And even when we were together, he was texting her constantly. Like, I would be telling him a story and he would just be not paying attention and just laughing, looking at his phone. And I'd be like, what? And he's like, oh, nothing. But I would look at his phone and he was texting her. So weird. And listen, if this was just a normal female friend, the alarm bells already would have been ringing that he was cheating, but it was his cousin. Why would my brain immediately go to the fact that he was cheating on me when it was his cousin? I had more faith in him than that. But eventually, I did find out that he was cheating. And let me tell you how. It was Zach's birthday, and he told me he wasn't going to be getting home until 8 o'clock, and then I was going to go over and meet him there, and we were going to go out to dinner. But I decided that I want to be a cute, sweet, thoughtful girlfriend and surprise him and decorate his entire apartment with all of his favorite things before he gets home. So I decided to go over 2 hours earlier when he's supposed to be at work at 6 o'clock. I had a key to his apartment because, again, we'd been dating for over 4 years at that point, and just let myself in and decorate his apartment. So I walk into his apartment, a ton of balloons in hand, all these decorations, and guess what I find right on the couch? The two of them making out. Yep, Zach and his cousin. The scream that left my body, I'm pretty sure they heard it from outer space. He immediately jumps right off the couch. He's like, I can explain. Please let me try to explain. I'm like, okay, do not touch me. Do not get near me. There's no way you can explain this. Worst part, though, is that his cousin did not look upset at all. She had a little smirk on her face. I feel like she wanted me to find out this entire time. Eventually, I do get the full story, and apparently him and his cousin have been romantically involved ever since they were teenagers. It started on one of their family vacations and just never stopped. So yeah, the entire time that my boyfriend and I were together, he was cheating on me with his cousin. And he claims that technically it's not wrong because she's his step cousin. His uncle married her mom, his step aunt, when she was 5 and he was 6. But like, dude, I don't care that you're not biologically related. You grew up as cousins, okay? No. He begged me not to dump him. Like, really, that man looked me in the eyes and begged for forgiveness. I was like, are you kidding me? Really? Really? In what world? In what world do you think I would forgive you after this? I can never look at you the same. But the wildest part is I just found out a few months ago they got engaged. Yep, they're getting married. Apparently, his entire family is absolutely thrilled and they love that his spouse can finally go on their family vacation. I guess the moral of the story is never trust a mama's boy.